The smell hit me before anything else. Bleach mixed with something sour, like dirty dishwater that had been sitting too long. I stood in the doorway of my own mansion, the one I bought with money I earned cleaning offices in London, and I watched a woman scrub the baseboards with a toothbrush. Her knees pressed into the hard marble. Her back bent at an angle that looked painful. My name is Gloria Martin, and 15 years ago, I kissed my baby girl goodbye in this very house and promised her a better future. The woman with the toothbrush wore clothes that hung loose on her body like they belonged to someone bigger. Her hair was cut short and uneven, like someone had done it in a hurry with dull scissors. The bucket next to her sloshed with gray water every time she moved. I set my suitcase down quietly, but the wheels made a small clicking sound on the floor. Nobody turned around. Not the man sitting at my dining table with his feet up, eating grapes from a fancy bowl I'd never seen before. Not the older woman lounging in the breakfast nook, painting her fingernails bright red. And not the woman scrubbing. She just kept moving that toothbrush back and forth like a machine that somebody forgot to turn off. The woman at the table looked up first. She had gray hair pulled back tight and earrings that sparkled when the light hit them. "Can I help you?" she said, but not in a nice way. More like the way you'd ask a stranger why they were standing in your kitchen. The woman scrubbing finally stopped. She turned her head slowly, like moving hurt her bones. When I saw her face, my heart stopped beating for what felt like a whole minute. Those eyes. I knew those eyes. They belonged to my daughter, to Jasmine. But they looked empty now, like someone had reached inside her head and stolen all the light. She stared at me the way you stare at someone you think you might have met once but can't remember where. My baby didn't know me. Her mouth opened a little bit, then closed again. Her hand stayed frozen on that toothbrush. I wanted to run to her to pull her up off that floor, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the way the man at the table sat up straighter, watching. Or maybe it was the way the older woman's eyes narrowed, like she was trying to figure out if I was a problem she needed to solve. "Jasmine," I said quietly. Just her name. Nothing else. She flinched like I'd slapped her. The toothbrush clattered to the floor. Some of the gray water splashed onto her bare feet. The man at the table made a noise with his tongue, a clicking sound full of anger. "You're making a mess," he said to Jasmine. Not to me. Like I wasn't even there. If you're still listening and you've ever seen someone you love treated like they're less than human, leave a small heart in the comments so I know I'm not alone in this feeling. I stepped further inside, pulling my suitcase behind me. The wheels made that clicking sound again, louder this time. The older woman finally looked at me properly. "Who are you?" she asked. Her voice had an edge to it, sharp like a knife. "I'm Gloria," I said. "This is my house." For a second nobody said anything. Then the man laughed. Not a real laugh. Mean one. "Used to be your house," he said. "Things change. People move on. Jasmine gave it to us years ago. Didn't she, baby?" He looked at my daughter when he said that last part. She nodded quickly, too quickly, like she'd practiced it 1,000 times. Her eyes dropped back to the floor. The bucket. The toothbrush floating in the dirty water. I watched her shoulders hunch forward, making herself smaller. 15 years I'd been gone. 15 years of working 2 jobs, then 3, then running my own business. Sending money home every month. Calling when I could. Writing letters. And this was what I came back to. Not a daughter living in comfort. Not a daughter running her own life. But a daughter who looked like she'd forgotten how to stand up straight. My phone felt heavy in my pocket. I reached for it slowly, not taking my eyes off any of them. The man shifted in his chair. The woman at the breakfast nook stopped painting her nails. Jasmine's breathing got faster. I could hear it from across the room. I pressed the number I'd saved under emergency only and held the phone to my ear. When my lawyer answered, I didn't say hello. I didn't explain. I just said 4 words. Execute the failsafe plan. Then I hung up. The man stood up fast, his chair scraping against the floor. "What was that?" he demanded. "Who were you talking to?" I slipped my phone back into my pocket and looked at Jasmine. Really looked at her. The woman kneeling on my floor wasn't just tired. She was sick. Her skin had that gray color people get when they haven't eaten right in a long time. Her arms were too thin. And there, just below the sleeve of her shirt, I saw it. Bruise. Dark purple fading to yellow at the edges. The shape of fingers. I walked toward her, not fast, not slow. Just steady. The older woman made a sound in her throat, but I ignored her. When I got close to Jasmine, I crouched down so we were at the same level. She pulled back a little like she expected me to hit her. "Baby," I whispered. "It's me. It's Mama." Her eyes filled up with tears, but they didn't fall. She bit her bottom lip hard, so hard I thought it might bleed. Then she shook her head just a tiny bit. "Please don't," she breathed out. The words were so quiet I almost didn't hear them. "Don't make trouble." I reached out slowly and touched her hand. It was cold even though the house was warm. That's when I saw more bruises. On her wrist. On her forearm. New. Mold. All telling the same story. Behind me, the man cleared his throat. "She's clumsy," he said. "Always bumping into things. Always dropping stuff. You can't blame me for her being careless." The older woman nodded. "It's true," she added. "She's always been accident-prone. Ever since she was little." That was a lie. Jasmine had been the most careful child I'd ever known. She used to walk around puddles so she wouldn't splash. Used to carry glasses with both hands so she wouldn't spill. This woman didn't know my daughter at all. I stood up slowly, still holding Jasmine's hand. My knees hurt from crouching. My back ached from the long flight. But I didn't let go. "Who are you people?" I asked. The question hung in the air like smoke. The man puffed out his chest. "Marcus," he said. "Jasmine's husband. This is my mother, Helen. We've been taking care of everything here while you were gone living your life overseas." The way he said living your life made it sound like I'd been on vacation. Like I hadn't worked myself sick to send money home. Like I hadn't missed birthdays and holidays and every important moment because I was trying to build something better. "Taking care of everything," I repeated. "Is that what you call this?" I looked down at Jasmine, at the bucket, at the toothbrush still floating in dirty water. Marcus shrugged. "She wanted to help out," he said. "She's my wife. Wives help their husbands. That's how marriage works." Helen nodded again like a puppet on strings. "She likes to keep busy," Helen said. "Keeps her mind off things." "What things?" I asked. Nobody answered. I let go of Jasmine's hand and stepped closer to Marcus. He was tall, taller than me, but I didn't care. I'd faced down landlords and bank managers and government officials who tried to tell me I couldn't do what I did. One man in my own house didn't scare me. "Where's the paperwork?" I said. "What paperwork?" Marcus asked. But his eyes shifted just a little. He knew exactly what I meant. "The deed," I said. "The papers for this house." "Show me." He smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. "I'll get them," he said. "Since you asked so nice." He walked past me, so close I could smell his cologne. Too much of it, trying to cover up sweat. He went to a desk in the corner. The same desk where I used to pay bills and write letters home to my own mother. He pulled open a drawer and took out a folder. "Brown." He brought it back and dropped it on the table. "There," he said. "All legal. All signed." I opened the folder. Inside were papers. Lots of them. My eyes went straight to the signature page. I saw Jasmine's name written in shaky letters. Not like her handwriting used to be. This looked wrong. The J was too big. The rest of the letters got smaller and smaller, like whoever wrote them got tired halfway through. "When did she sign this?" I asked. Marcus crossed his arms. 3 years ago, he said. When she realized she couldn't manage a place this big on her own. She needed help. She needed us. I looked back at Jasmine. She was still on the floor, still holding herself like she might break. "Baby," I said softly. "Did you sign this paper?" She nodded, but her hands started shaking. "Yes," she whispered. "I signed it." But the way she said it made my stomach hurt. "Why?" I asked. "Tell me why." She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. "He said I had to," she finally answered. Her voice cracked on the last word. "He said if I didn't, he'd leave me. And I'd have nothing. Nobody. He said you weren't coming back. That you'd forgotten about me. Tears started falling then, hot and fast. She tried to wipe them away with the back of her hand, but they kept coming. I was so alone, Mama, she sobbed. I didn't know what to do. If you're listening right now and you've ever felt the pain of knowing your child suffered while you were away, put a small heart in the comments so I know you understand this kind of hurt. I knelt back down and pulled Jasmine into my arms. She was so thin I could feel her bones through her shirt. She smelled like cleaning chemicals and fear. I held her tight while she cried into my shoulder. 15 years. 15 years I'd missed. And in that time, these people had taken everything from her. Her home. Her dignity. Her belief that anyone loved her. That's enough, Marcus said. His voice got louder. You're upsetting her. You're making things worse. I pulled back and looked at Jasmine's face. Her eyes were red and swollen. But for the first time since I walked in, I saw something there. Tiny spark. Like maybe she was starting to remember who she used to be. I stood up and faced Marcus again. Get out, I said. Simple as that. His eyebrows went up. Excuse me, he said. I said get out, I repeated. You and your mother. Leave my house. He laughed again. That same mean laugh. Your house, he said. Did you not see the papers? This is our house now. Jasmine gave it to us. Legal and binding. Helen stood up from the breakfast nook. Her fingernails were still wet, so she held her hands out funny. You can't just walk in here after all these years and start making demands, she said. We've been here. We've been taking care of her when she had nobody else. You abandoned her. Those words hit like punches. Abandoned. Maybe that's what it looked like from the outside. But they didn't know about the nights I cried myself to sleep in a tiny apartment with 3 other women. They didn't know about the times I ate 1 meal a day so I could send more money home. They didn't know about missing my mother's funeral because I couldn't afford the plane ticket back. I didn't abandon her, I said quietly. I built a life so she could have choices. So she wouldn't have to struggle like I did. And you took those choices away from her. Marcus stepped forward, getting in my face. You don't know anything, he hissed. You weren't here. You don't get to judge us. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out and looked at the screen. A message from my lawyer. 2 words. I'm coming. I showed the screen to Marcus. Not the words. Just enough so he could see I was holding something. My lawyer is on his way, I said. He has papers too. Papers you've never seen. Papers that say what happens if someone tries to steal from my daughter. Marcus's face changed. Just a little. A flicker of something. Worry maybe. Or fear. What papers, he demanded. Smiled then. Not a mean smile. Just a tired one. You'll find out soon enough, I said. Then I turned to Jasmine. Baby, I said. Show me where you sleep. She looked at Marcus. Then at Helen. Then back at me. Her whole body was shaking. Can't, she whispered. He'll get mad. I'm already mad, Marcus snapped. She sleeps where she always sleeps. In our room. With me. That's another lie, isn't it? I said to Jasmine. She didn't answer. But her silence told me everything. Show me, I said again. This time I held out my hand. For a long moment she just stared at it. Like she'd forgotten what it meant when someone offered to help her up. Then slowly she reached out and took it. Her fingers were cold and rough from all that scrubbing. I pulled her to her feet. She swayed a little, like standing made her dizzy. When was the last time you ate? I asked. She looked down. This morning, she said. Had some bread. Just bread? I asked. She nodded. Helen made a huffing sound. She's always been a picky eater, Helen said. We offer her food. She just doesn't want it. Another lie. I could see it in the way Jasmine's shoulders curved inward. In the way her eyes went dark when Helen spoke. Come on, I said to Jasmine. Show me. She led me down the hallway. The same hallway where I used to chase her when she was little. Both of us laughing. Now it felt long and cold. We passed the guest bedrooms. All the doors were open. Could see inside. Nice beds. Clean sheets. Paintings on the walls. We kept walking. Past the bathroom. Past the linen closet. all the way to the end of the hall where there was a door I didn't remember. It was smaller than the others. Plain. No decoration. Jasmine stopped in front of it. Her hand shook when she reached for the knob. Here, she whispered. Sleep here. She opened the door. Inside was a space barely big enough for one person. No window. No light except what came from the hallway. And on the floor a mattress. Thin. One flat pillow. One blanket with holes in it. The smell of mildew was so strong it made my eyes water. This, I said. My voice came out strange. This is where they make you sleep. Jasmine nodded. She wouldn't look at me. I couldn't breathe right. Couldn't think straight. I turned around. Marcus and Helen had followed us down the hall. They stood there watching. You put my daughter in a closet, I said. Each word came out slow and careful. It's not a closet, Helen said quickly. It's a storage room. We converted it. Made it nice for her. Nice, I repeated. There's no window. There's no light. The mattress is on the floor like she's some kind of animal. Marcus rolled his eyes. She's being dramatic, he said to me. Like I was supposed to agree with him. She could sleep in a real room if she earned it. If she did her jobs right. If she didn't complain all the time. My hands curled into fists. I forced them to open again. What jobs, I asked. What do you make her do? Everything, Jasmine said from behind me. Her voice was small but clear. Cook. Clean. I wash their clothes. I scrub the floors. I'm not allowed to sit down until everything is perfect. And it's never perfect. My heart broke into 1,000 pieces right there in that hallway. If you're still with me and you've ever seen someone you love broken down to nothing, leave a heart in the comments so I know you feel this too. How long, I asked Jasmine. How long has this been happening? She didn't answer right away. I could hear her breathing behind me. Shaky. Even. 2 years, she finally said. Maybe longer. It's hard to remember when it started. When he started yelling. When she started making lists of things I did wrong. When they took my phone away so I couldn't call anyone. My phone, I thought. The one I'd been calling all these years. The one that went straight to voicemail more and more often until it stopped working at all. They told me you changed your number, I said. Jasmine let out a sound that was almost a laugh. It was sad. So sad. I didn't change it, she said. They took it. They said I was wasting time talking to you instead of working. They said you didn't really care anyway. You just called because you felt guilty. I turned around and looked at my daughter. Really looked at her. She was 28 years old but looked 40. Her face was thin. Her eyes had dark circles under them. Her hands were red and cracked from chemicals. And I hadn't been there to stop any of it. The guilt tried to pull me down, tried to make me fall to my knees right there. But I couldn't. Not yet. There'd be time for guilt later. Right now I needed to be strong. I walked past Marcus and Helen without saying a word. Went back to the living room. Picked up my suitcase. Came back. I'm staying, I said. They looked at each other. You can't stay here, Marcus said. This isn't your house anymore. Watch me, I said. I walked into the closest guest bedroom and set my suitcase on the bed. Behind me I heard Marcus coming. His footsteps were heavy. Angry. You need to leave, he said from the doorway. Right now. Or what, I asked. I didn't turn around. Just started unpacking my clothes. You'll call the police. Go ahead. Call them. Tell them the woman who paid for this house wants to stay in it. Tell them about the daughter you keep in a closet. See what they say. Silence. Long and thick. You're making a mistake. Helen called from somewhere down the hall. A big mistake. We'll see, I said. Then I heard it. A knock on the front door. Official. 3 times. That'll be my lawyer, I said. Right on time. Marcus ran to the door. I heard him open it. Heard voices. A man's voice I didn't recognize. Professional. I'm here to see Gloria Martin, the voice said. And I need to speak with Marcus Webb and Helen Webb. Are they available? I walked back out to the hallway. Jasmine stood pressed against the wall, making herself small again. I went to her and put my arm around her shoulders. It's okay, I whispered. Everything's about to change. We walked to the front door together. My lawyer stood there in a gray suit with a briefcase in his hand. He was a short man with white hair and kind eyes. But I knew he was tough. I'd seen him fight for me before. "Miss Martin," he said with a nod. "I'm glad you're safe." "These are the Webbs?" I asked, pointing at Marcus and Helen. He looked at them over his glasses. "Are you Marcus Webb and Helen Webb?" he asked. "Yes," Marcus said. His voice wasn't as strong now. "Oui." My lawyer opened his briefcase. "I need to inform you that, as of this afternoon, there is a legal hold on this property," he said. "That means no one can sell it, transfer it, or make any changes to ownership until an investigation is complete." "What investigation?" Helen demanded. Her face went red. "An investigation into possible fraud, abuse, and illegal transfer of assets," my lawyer said. He pulled out papers and handed them to Marcus. "You're being served." Marcus stared at the papers like they might bite him. "This is crazy," he said. "We didn't do anything illegal. Jasmine gave us the house. She wanted us to have it." My lawyer looked at Jasmine. She was shaking against my side. "Miss Martin," he said gently, "did you willingly give this house to Marcus Webb? Or were you forced?" Jasmine's mouth opened and closed. I could feel her whole body trembling. "Tell the truth, baby," I said softly. "You won't get in trouble. Promise." She looked at Marcus. He stared back at her with hard eyes. The kind of eyes that said she'd better keep quiet or else. But then she looked at me. My face. At my arm around her. And something changed. "He made me," she said. The words came out in a rush. "He said if I didn't sign the papers he'd hurt me. He said I was useless. He said nobody would believe me if I told. He said you didn't love me anymore, so there was no point in fighting." Marcus lunged forward. "She's lying," he shouted. "She's confused. She doesn't know what she's saying." My lawyer stepped between them. "Sir," he said firmly. "Back." Marcus stopped, but his fists were clenched. "You can't prove anything," he said. "It's her word against mine." "Actually," my lawyer said, "we can prove quite a bit." He pulled out more papers. "These are bank statements," he said. "They show that every month, Gloria Martin sent money to this address. Thousands of dollars. For 15 years. Where did that money go, Marcus? Because according to these records, Jasmine's personal account has been empty for 3 years." Helen's face went pale. "We used it for the house," she said quickly. "For bills. For food. For maintenance." My lawyer nodded slowly. "Interesting," he said. "Because the utility bills show the house uses very little power. The food deliveries are minimal. And there's been no maintenance work done in years. But there are large withdrawals from the joint account you opened in Jasmine's name. Withdrawals that match up with purchases of a new car, expensive jewelry, and casino visits. Would you like to explain that?" Nobody spoke. The silence was so heavy I could feel it pressing down on my chest. My lawyer looked at me. "Miss Martin," he said, "I need to ask Jasmine some questions. Is that all right with you?" I looked at my daughter. Her eyes were wide and scared. But she nodded. "'Kay," she whispered. He turned to her. "Jasmine," he said, "did Marcus or Helen ever hit you?" She bit her lip. "Look down." "Yes," she said quietly. "How many times?" my lawyer asked. "I don't know," she said. "Lot. Too many to count." He'd slap me if dinner wasn't ready on time. She'd pinch me if I talked back. He'd push me into walls if I cried. My lawyer wrote everything down. "Did they ever prevent you from leaving the house?" "Yes," Jasmine said. She was crying now but still talking. "They took my keys. They took my phone. They said I didn't need to go anywhere. That I had everything I needed here." "Did they ever withhold food from you?" She nodded. "If I didn't finish my work, I didn't eat," she said. "Sometimes I'd go 2 days with nothing but water. My stomach hurt so bad I thought I'd die. But they said I was being dramatic. That I was trying to make them look bad." My lawyer kept writing. Then he looked up at Marcus and Helen. "You understand," he said, "that what you've just heard described is abuse. It's also fraud. And quite possibly human trafficking. Those are serious crimes." Marcus's face went red. Human trafficking, he shouted. That's insane. She's my wife. I can't traffic my own wife. Actually, my lawyer said calmly, you can. When you take someone's documents, prevent them from leaving, force them to work without pay, and threaten them with violence, that's trafficking. Even if you're married. Helen grabbed Marcus's arm. We should call our lawyer, she hissed. My lawyer smiled. That's a good idea, he said. You're going to need one. Because in about 5 minutes the police are going to arrive. I called them before I came in. Marcus's eyes went wide. Police, he said. You called the police. My lawyer nodded. Course, he said. This is a crime scene. Right on cue I heard sirens. Faint at first, then getting louder. Marcus ran to the window and looked out. Red and blue lights flashed in the driveway. No, he said. No. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. Helen's hands started shaking. She looked at me with eyes full of hate. This is your fault, she spat. You ruined everything. I didn't ruin anything, I said. You did that yourselves. When you decided my daughter was something you could use instead of someone you should love. The police knocked on the door. Loud. Official. Police, open up. My lawyer went to the door and opened it. 2 officers stepped inside. One was tall with a serious face. The other was shorter with kind eyes. We got a call about a possible abuse situation, the tall officer said. Who made the report? I did, my lawyer said. I'm representing Gloria Martin. This is her daughter, Jasmine, who we believe has been held against her will and abused by her husband and mother-in-law. The officers looked at Jasmine. She shrank back against me. It's okay, I whispered. You're safe now. The kind-eyed officer stepped forward. Hi, Jasmine, she said. Her voice was soft. My name is Officer Chen. Can you tell me if you've been hurt? Jasmine nodded. Then the words started pouring out. Everything she'd been holding inside for years. The hitting. The yelling. The closet. The hunger. The loneliness. All of it. Officer Chen listened to every word. When Jasmine finished, the officer looked at Marcus and Helen. We're going to need you both to come down to the station, she said. You're not under arrest yet. But we have questions. Lots of them. Marcus tried to argue. Tried to say it was all a misunderstanding. But the officers didn't want to hear it. They led him and Helen outside. I watched through the window as they put them in separate police cars. Not handcuffed. Not yet. But it was coming. I could feel it. When the cars drove away, the house went quiet. So quiet I could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. My lawyer turned to me. I'll need Jasmine to come to my office tomorrow, he said. We have to document everything. Take photos of her injuries. Get her medical records. Build a case. He nodded. We'll be there, I said. He looked at Jasmine. You're very brave, he told her. What you did today took courage. Most people can't speak up the way you did. Jasmine wiped her eyes. I'm not brave, she said. I'm scared. That's what makes you brave, he said. Being scared and doing it anyway. After he left, I closed the door and locked it. Then I turned to Jasmine. She stood in the middle of the living room looking lost. Like she didn't know what to do now that nobody was telling her what to do. Come here, I said. She walked over slowly. I pulled her into a hug and held her tight. Tighter than I'd ever held anyone. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry I wasn't here. I'm sorry I didn't know. I'm sorry you went through this alone. She sobbed into my shoulder. Great big sobs that shook her whole body. I let her cry. Let her get it all out. All the pain and fear and sadness she'd been carrying. When she finally stopped, I pulled back and looked at her face. Let's get you cleaned up, I said. And then we're going to eat. Real meal. Whatever you want. She blinked at me. Whatever I want, she repeated. Like she'd never heard those words before. Whatever you want, I said again. And then you're going to sleep in a real bed. With clean sheets and a soft pillow. And I'm going to stay right there with you until you feel safe. We went to the bathroom. The big one with the tub and the nice mirror. I ran her a bath. Put in some soap I found under the sink that smelled like lavender. While the tub filled, I helped her take off her dirty clothes. That's when I saw all of it. Every bruise. Every mark, every scar. Some were old and faded. Some were fresh and purple. Some were in places you couldn't see unless someone was looking. I wanted to cry, wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just helped her into the bath and washed her hair gently while she sat there with her eyes closed. After I found her some clean clothes, a soft shirt and pants that actually fit. She looked in the mirror and touched her face. I look different, she said. You look like yourself, I told her. We went to the kitchen and I made her scrambled eggs and toast. Nothing fancy. But she ate it like it was the best meal she'd ever had. She ate every bite, then asked if she could have more. Course, I said. You can have as much as you want. While she ate, I called the bank. I called the utility company. I called everyone I needed to call to put everything back in my name and Jasmine's name. Tomorrow we'd go to the lawyer. We'd talk to the police. We'd start the long process of making sure Marcus and Helen never hurt anyone again. But tonight we were just going to be together. When Jasmine finished eating, she looked at me. Mama, she said, did you really never forget about me? Never, I said. Not for one single day. Even when I couldn't call. Even when I was working so hard I could barely stand. I thought about you every morning when I woke up and every night before I slept. She started crying again. But different this time. Softer. I thought you didn't love me anymore, she said. I thought I wasn't important enough for you to come back. I took her hands in mine. You are the most important thing in my life, I said. Everything I did for you. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. I know I wasn't here when you needed me. But I loved you every second of every day. And I'm here now. And I'm never leaving again. She squeezed my hands tight. Promise, she whispered. Promise, I said. And I meant it. We stayed up late that night. Just talking. She told me everything. About how Marcus seemed nice at first. How he slowly changed after they got married. How Helen moved in and started making rules. How it happened so gradually she didn't even realize she was trapped until it was too late. I told her about my life in London. About the business I built. About the nights I cried because I missed her so much. About how I almost came home 100 times but always talked myself out of it because I thought she was happy. We were both wrong about so many things. But we were here now. Together. When she started yawning, I took her to the master bedroom. The one that should have been hers all along. I pulled back the covers and she climbed in. I got in on the other side. We lay there in the dark, holding hands across the space between us. Mama, she said, what if they come back? What if the police don't believe me? What if I have to go back to living like that? I squeezed her hand. They're not coming back, I said. Police do believe you. And you're never going back to living like that. I'll make sure of it. But how do you know, she asked. Because I have something they don't know about, I said. Something I set up 15 years ago just in case anything ever happened to you. What is it, she asked. I rolled over to face her. When I bought this house, I said, I knew I was going to have to leave to make money. I knew I couldn't be here to protect you every day. So I went to a lawyer. Really good one. And I had him write up special papers. Papers that said if anyone ever hurt you or took advantage of you, the house would go back to me immediately. And they'd have to answer for what they did. She blinked at me. You did that, she said. 15 years ago. He nodded. I did that, I said. Because I knew I couldn't protect you from everything. But I could make sure you had a way out if you needed it. Tears rolled down her face. You really did love me, she whispered. I really did, I said. Really do. Always have. Always will. She cried herself to sleep that night. But this time the tears were different. Not sad tears. Healing tears. The next morning we went to the lawyer's office. He took pictures of Jasmine's bruises. He wrote down everything she said. He filed papers with the court. Then we went to the police station. They took her statement. Asked her to sign forms. Told her she was brave. Later that week we got the call. Marcus and Helen had been arrested. They were charged with fraud, abuse, and false imprisonment. The evidence was too strong. Jasmine's testimony, the bank records, the medical reports, everything lined up. They tried to fight it. Tried to say Jasmine was lying. But nobody believed them. Not the police. Not the judge. Not anyone. The trial took months. Jasmine had to testify. Had to tell her story in front of a room full of strangers. It was hard. So hard. But I sat right there in the front row every single day. And every time she looked at me, I nodded. Told her without words that she could do this. That she was strong. That she was loved. In the end, Marcus got 8 years in prison. Helen got 5. The house went back to Jasmine's name. All the money they'd stolen had to be paid back. Justice, the judge called it. I called it the beginning. Because the real work started after the trial. Jasmine had to learn how to live again. How to make choices without being scared. How to eat without asking permission. How to sleep without waking up every hour to check if someone was coming. I stayed with her through all of it. We turned the closet where she'd slept into a real storage room. Put boxes and old clothes in there. Locked the door. She never had to look at it again. We redecorated the master bedroom. New paint. New curtains. New everything. Made it feel like hers. We started a garden in the backyard. Planted vegetables and flowers. Things that would grow and bloom. Like her. Slowly, over months and then years, I watched my daughter come back to life. Her smile returned. Her laugh returned. The light in her eyes came back. She started going out. Made new friends. Found a job she loved. Started living the life I'd always dreamed she'd have. And me, I finally forgave myself. For leaving. For not knowing. For all the years I'd lost. Because I couldn't change the past. But I could be there for the future. We sold the mansion eventually. Too many bad memories in those walls. Bought a smaller house. Something cozy where we could both start fresh. Jasmine met someone new. A good man this time. Someone who treated her with kindness and respect. Someone who made her laugh. I walked her down the aisle at her wedding. Cried happy tears this time. Watched her dance with her new husband and felt my heart swell with pride. She'd survived. She'd healed. She'd found her way back to happiness. And I'd been there to see it. That's what matters most. Not that I was gone. But that I came back. Not that she fell. But that she got back up. Not that they hurt her. But that she's stronger now than they could ever be. If you're still listening to this story, if it touched something inside you, leave a heart in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes people need to know that no matter how dark things get, there's always a way back to the light. My name is Gloria Martin. And this is the story of how I came home after 15 years and saved my daughter from the people who tried to break her. But she wasn't broken. She was bent. And bent things can be straightened. Broken things can be fixed. Lost things can be found. That's what I learned. Every day after the trial, I woke up grateful. Grateful I'd come home when I did. Grateful for the lawyer who'd helped us. Grateful for the police who'd believed Jasmine. Grateful for the judge who'd seen the truth. But most of all, grateful for my daughter's strength. Because she could have given up. Could have stayed silent. Could have let them win. But she didn't. She spoke up. She fought back. She survived. And that takes more courage than anything else in the world. We had a lot of conversations after everything settled down. About trust. About forgiveness. About moving forward. Jasmine asked me once if I blamed myself for what happened. I told her the truth. Yes, I said. Every day. But I also know that blame doesn't change anything. What matters is what we do now. How we heal. How we help each other. She told me she didn't blame me. That she understood why I left. That she knew I was doing it for her. But she also told me how alone she'd felt. How scared. How lost. I listened. Really listened. Didn't make excuses. Didn't try to defend myself. Just let her say everything she needed to say. And when she was done, I apologized. Said I was sorry for not being there. Sorry for not knowing. Sorry for leaving her vulnerable. She cried. Cried. We held each other and let the pain out. And then, slowly, we started to heal. Together. I learned something important through all of this. Love isn't just about being there. It's also about making sure the people you love are safe even when you can't be there. It's about planning ahead, thinking about what could go wrong, putting protections in place. That's what saved Jasmine in the end. Not me showing up, but the papers I'd signed 15 years before, the lawyer I'd hired, the fail-safe plan I'd put in motion. Because I knew I couldn't always be there, but I could make sure she had help if she ever needed it. If you're a parent listening to this, learn from my story. Talk to a lawyer. Set up protections. Make sure your children know they have options. Make sure they know they can always come home. Make sure they know they're loved. Because sometimes people get into situations they can't get out of alone. And they need to know someone is looking out for them, even from far away. Jasmine is doing well now. Really well. She's happy. She's healthy. She's living her life on her own terms. And I'm here, right beside her, making up for lost time. We cook together, garden together, watch movies together, do all the normal mother-daughter things I missed out on for so many years. And every day I'm thankful. Thankful for second chances. Thankful for justice. Thankful for healing. Thankful for her. This story could have ended differently. So many stories like this do. But ours didn't. 'Cause I came home. 'Cause I had a plan. Because Jasmine was strong enough to speak her truth. 'Cause people listened. 'Cause the system worked. But I know not everyone is that lucky. So I'm telling this story for them. For the people still trapped. For the people still suffering. For the people who think nobody cares. I'm telling you. Someone cares. Someone is looking for you. Someone will help if you just ask. Don't give up. Don't stay silent. Don't let them win. There's always a way out. Always. I started a foundation after everything happened. Called it Second Chances. It helps people who are in situations like Jasmine was. Abusive relationships. Financial control. Isolation. We provide legal help. We provide housing. We provide counseling. We provide hope. 'Cause that's what people need most. Hope that things can get better. Hope that they're not alone. Hope that someone believes them. Jasmine works with me now. She talks to other survivors. Shares her story. Shows them that healing is possible. Shows them that life after abuse can be good. Can be happy. Can be worth living. And together we've helped dozens of people. Gotten them out of bad situations. Connected them with resources. Watched them rebuild their lives. It doesn't erase what happened to Jasmine, but it gives meaning to her suffering. Turns her pain into purpose. And that's powerful. That's healing in a different way. Every time we help someone, I think about what could have happened if I hadn't come home. If I hadn't had that fail-safe plan. If Jasmine hadn't found the courage to speak up. And I'm grateful all over again. Grateful we got our happy ending. Grateful we can help others get theirs too. People ask me sometimes if I regret leaving. If I'd do it differently if I could go back. It's a hard question. 'Cause yes, I wish I'd been there. Wish I'd known what was happening. Wish I could have stopped it before it got so bad. But I also know that if I hadn't left, I wouldn't have built the business that gave us the money to fight back. I wouldn't have made the connections that led me to the lawyer who saved us. I wouldn't have learned the strength I needed to stand up to Marcus and Helen. So maybe it all happened the way it needed to happen. Not the way I wanted, but the way that got us here. To this place. Where Jasmine is free and happy and safe. Where we're together. Where we're healing. I don't believe everything happens for a reason. I think that's something people say to make sense of bad things. But I do believe we can find meaning in what happens. We can choose how to respond. We can decide what to do with our pain. And we can help others with what we've learned. That's what I choose. That's what Jasmine chooses. That's our story. The legal battle took a long time. Even after Marcus and Helen went to prison, there were things to sort out. Money to recover. Property to transfer. Paperwork to file. My lawyer worked on it for months. Tracking down every dollar they'd stolen. Every transfer they'd made. Every lie they'd told. It was exhausting. But necessary. Because Jasmine deserved to get back what was hers. Deserved to have justice not just in court but in reality. And eventually we did it. Got back most of the money. got the house back in her name, got all the legal matters settled. It wasn't perfect. Some money was gone forever, spent on things we'd never recover. But it was enough. Enough for Jasmine to start fresh. Enough for her to feel secure. Enough for her to know she wasn't starting from nothing. The day the last paper was signed, we celebrated. Just the two of us. Ordered pizza. Watched movies. Laughed until our stomachs hurt. Felt good. Felt normal. Felt like we were finally truly free. Jasmine kept looking at the deed. Her name on it. Clear and legal and permanent. "This is really mine," she kept saying. Like she couldn't believe it. "Yes," I told her. "It's really yours. And nobody can ever take it away again." We started new traditions after that. Sunday dinners where we cooked together. Movie nights where we picked terrible films and made fun of them. Walks in the park where we talked about everything and nothing. We were rebuilding. Not just the house. Not just the legal stuff. But our relationship. The bond that had been stretched and tested and nearly broken. We had to learn each other again. I'd missed 15 years of her life. It changed. Grown up. Become someone I didn't fully know. And she had to learn to trust me again. To believe I wouldn't leave. To believe I'd stay. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes she'd get quiet. Pull away. I'd worry she was mad at me. That I'd done something wrong. But then she'd come back. Tell me what she was feeling. And we'd work through it. Together. Therapy helped. We both went. Sometimes together. Sometimes alone. Talked about trauma. About loss. About guilt and forgiveness. Learned tools for coping. For healing. For moving forward. I learned that healing isn't a straight line. It's messy. Full of ups and downs. Good days and bad days. Days where everything feels fine and days where it all comes rushing back. But that's okay. That's normal. That's part of the process. And as long as we kept moving forward, even slowly, we were making progress. Jasmine started seeing a therapist who specialized in abuse survivors. Someone who understood what she'd been through. Who didn't judge her for staying as long as she did. Who helped her see that none of it was her fault. That helped more than anything. Because Jasmine blamed herself for a long time. Thought she should have been stronger. Should have left sooner. Should have known better. But her therapist helped her understand that abuse works by breaking down your sense of reality. By making you doubt yourself. By making you think you deserve what's happening. And that it takes incredible strength to survive it. That recognition changed something in Jasmine. She started standing taller. Speaking with more confidence. Making decisions without second-guessing herself. She started believing she deserved good things. Deserved happiness. Deserved love. And that's when everything really started to change. That's when she started living instead of just surviving. I watched her transform. Watched her go from scared and broken to strong and whole. And it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Better than any business success. Better than any amount of money. Watching my daughter heal was my greatest achievement. We had a lot of firsts after everything settled. First time Jasmine went out with friends without asking permission. First time she bought something just because she wanted it. First time she said no to something without explaining why. First time she laughed without looking over her shoulder. Each one was a victory. Each one meant she was taking her life back. Piece by piece. I was there for all of it. Cheering her on. Celebrating with her. Crying happy tears every time she did something that showed how far she'd come. And she did the same for me. 'Cause I was healing too. From the guilt. From the years of being away. From the knowledge of what had happened while I was gone. We healed together. Supported each other. Became not just mother and daughter but friends. Real friends. Who trusted each other. Who told each other the truth. Who loved each other through the hard parts. That's what I'm most proud of. Not that we survived. But how we survived. Together. With love. With honesty. With determination to make things better. The anniversary of the day I came home became special to us. We called it Liberation Day. Every year on that date we'd do something to celebrate. Sometimes big things like taking a trip. Sometimes small things like having a fancy dinner. But always something that reminded us of how far we'd come. How much we'd overcome. Jasmine started speaking publicly about her experience. First just to small groups. Support groups for abuse survivors. Then to bigger audiences. Schools. Community centers. Anyone who would listen. She was so brave. Standing up there. Telling her story. Showing her scars. Both the visible ones and the invisible ones. People connected with her. Thanked her for giving them hope. For showing them they weren't alone. For proving that healing was possible. And every time someone told her that her story helped them, I saw her stand a little taller. Saw her smile a little brighter. Because she was taking her pain and turning it into something meaningful. Something helpful. Something good. That's real strength. Real courage. Real healing. I spoke too sometimes. About my side of things. About being a mother who left and came home to find her child suffering. About the guilt. About the determination to make things right. About the importance of planning ahead. People found that helpful too. Parents especially. They'd come up to me after and ask questions. How do I protect my child when I can't be there? What legal protections should I put in place? How do I know if my child is in trouble? I'd answer every question. Share what I'd learned. Give them resources. Help them understand that prevention is just as important as intervention. Because if I could help even one family avoid what we went through, it would be worth it. The foundation grew. Started with just me and Jasmine and my lawyer. Then we hired more people. People who'd survived abuse themselves. People who understood. Who could look someone in the eye and say, I know what you're going through. And mean it. We opened offices in 3 cities. Helped hundreds of people. Saved lives. Changed lives. Gave people hope when they thought there was none left. And every single person we helped, I thought of Jasmine. Of what she'd been through. Of how we'd fought to get her out. Of why this work mattered. 'Cause everyone deserves to be safe. Everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone deserves to have someone fighting for them. That's what the foundation does. Fights for people who can't fight for themselves. Jasmine got married 3 years after everything happened. To a man named David who treated her like she was precious. Who listened when she talked. Who gave her space when she needed it. Who loved her patiently while she learned to trust again. I cried at their wedding. Happy tears. Proud tears. Grateful tears. Because I got to see my daughter find real love. The kind that builds you up instead of tearing you down. The kind that's safe and steady and true. They bought a house together. A small one with a big yard. Started their own traditions. Built a life that was theirs. And Jasmine bloomed. I watched her become the woman she was always meant to be. Strong. Confident. Happy. Free. She'd call me sometimes just to talk. Tell me about her day. Ask my advice. Share her dreams. And every time I'd feel grateful all over again. Grateful I came home. Grateful we fought. Grateful we won. Grateful we're here. Together. Living lives we love. Marcus and Helen are still in prison. They tried to appeal. Said they were treated unfairly. Said Jasmine was lying. But the appeals were denied. The evidence was too strong. The truth too clear. They'll serve their full sentences. And when they get out they'll have nothing. No house. No money. No power. Just the consequences of what they did. I don't celebrate that. Don't take joy in their suffering. But I don't feel sorry for them either. They made their choices. They hurt someone I love. They have to live with that. Jasmine doesn't think about them much anymore. Sometimes she'll mention something. Memory. Feeling. A dream where they're back. But it doesn't control her like it used to. Doesn't consume her. He's moved on. Moved forward. Built a life they can't touch. And that's the best revenge. Living well. Being happy. Refusing to let them win. I'm proud of her every single day. Proud of her strength. Proud of her courage. Proud of the woman she's become. She's my hero. My inspiration. My reason for everything. And I tell her that. Often. 'Cause she needs to hear it. needs to know how amazing she is, how far she's come, how loved she is. We're planning a trip together soon. Just the two of us. To London, where I lived for all those years. She wants to see where I worked, where I lived, where I thought about her every single day. And I want to show her. Want to share that part of my life with her. Want her to understand the whole story. Not just the ending, but the middle too. The part where I was gone but still fighting for her. Still loving her. Still planning for her future. I think it'll be good for both of us. Healing in a different way. Closing the circle. Bringing together the past and the present. Making peace with what was so we can fully embrace what is. Life is good now. Really good. Better than I ever imagined it could be. We have each other. We have health. We have purpose. We have peace. That's all I ever wanted. Not money. Not success. Not recognition. Just my daughter. Safe and happy and free. And I have that now. We have that now. Together. So if you're listening to this story and you're in a bad situation, please hear me. There is hope. There is help. There is a way out. You just have to reach for it. Ask for help. Tell someone. Don't give up. Because you deserve better. You deserve safety. You deserve love. You deserve freedom. And there are people who will fight for you. Who will believe you. Who will help you. You're not alone. Never alone. There's always someone who cares. Always someone who will listen. Always someone who will help. You just have to be brave enough to speak up. And I know that's hard. I know it's scary. I know it feels impossible. But you can do it. Just like Jasmine did. Just like so many others have done. You have that strength inside you. You just have to find it. And when you do, when you speak up, when you ask for help, your whole life can change. Can get better. Can become what you always dreamed it could be. That's what happened for us. That's what can happen for you. So don't give up. Don't stay quiet. Don't let them win. Fight for yourself. Fight for your future. Fight for your happiness. Because you're worth fighting for. I'm going to close this story now. But before I do, I want to say one more thing. To anyone who helped us along the way. The lawyer who believed me. The police who listened to Jasmine. The judge who saw the truth. The therapists who guided us. The friends who supported us. The strangers who became family. Thank you. Thank you for being part of our story. Thank you for helping us survive. Thank you for helping us heal. We couldn't have done it without you. And to Jasmine, my beautiful, brave, amazing daughter. Love you. I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for you. Every single day. You are my greatest joy. My biggest blessing. My reason for everything. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for giving me a second chance. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for healing with me. Thank you for being you. This is our story. The story of how we lost each other and found each other again. The story of how darkness tried to win but light prevailed. The story of how love survived everything. Everything that tried to break it. And came out stronger on the other side. If our story helped you, please share it. Share it with someone who needs hope. Someone who needs to know they're not alone. Someone who needs to believe things can get better. 'Cause they can. They really can. My name is Gloria Martin. This is my daughter Jasmine. And this is how we survived. Together. If you made it this far, if you listened to our whole story, thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our journey. Drop a heart in the comments if our story touched you. Share it if you think someone needs to hear it. And remember, no matter how dark things get, there's always light on the other side. Always hope. Always help. Always love. Always someone fighting for you. Even when you can't see them. Even when you don't know they're there. They're fighting. Planning. Preparing to bring you home. Just like I did for Jasmine. Just like someone will do for you if you need them. The house stands empty now. The mansion where everything happened. We sold it to a nice family with 3 kids. Family full of laughter and love. They don't know what happened there. Don't know the darkness those walls held. And that's okay. Because we filled it with light before we left. We cleansed it. Blessed it. Let it go. Now it's just a building. Just walls and floors and ceilings. The pain doesn't live there anymore. We took it with us and transformed it into purpose, into meaning, into something beautiful. That's what healing looks like. Not forgetting, but transforming. Taking what hurt you and making it into something that helps. That's what we did. What we're still doing. Every single day. And we'll keep doing it. For as long as we can. For as long as people need help. For as long as our story can make a difference. Because that's our purpose now. Our mission. Calling. To help others the way we were helped. To give others the hope we were given. To show others that survival is possible. That healing is real. That better days are coming. If they just hold on. If they just keep fighting. If they just believe. Jasmine is pregnant now. Having a baby girl. We're going to name her Hope. Because that's what she represents. Hope for the future. Hope for new beginnings. Hope for a life untouched by the darkness we survived. And I'm going to be a grandmother. Going to get to watch this little girl grow up safe and loved and free. Going to get to be there for all the moments I missed with Jasmine. The first steps. The first words. The birthdays and holidays and ordinary days. All of it. I won't miss any of it this time. I'll be right there. Every step of the way. Making sure Hope knows she's loved. Making sure she knows she's safe. Making sure she knows she can always come home. Always tell the truth. Always ask for help. That's my promise to her. That's my promise to Jasmine. That's my promise to myself. To never let distance or work or anything else come between me and the people I love. 'Cause I learned the hard way. Life is short. Time is precious. Love is everything. And nothing is more important than family. Than being there. Than showing up. Than fighting for the people you love. That's the lesson I learned. That's what I want you to take from this story. Don't wait. Don't assume everything is fine. Don't let pride or fear or work keep you from the people who matter. Call them. Visit them. Check on them. Make sure they know they're loved. Make sure they know they matter. Make sure they know you're there. 'Cause you never know when they might need you. When something might go wrong. When they might need someone to fight for them. And you want to be ready. Want to be there. Want to be the person they can count on. That's what saved us. Not luck. Not chance. But love and planning and determination. And you can do the same. For your children. Your siblings. Your parents. Your friends. Anyone you love. Put protections in place. Stay connected. Stay aware. And if something goes wrong, if someone needs help, be ready to fight. To show up. To do whatever it takes. Because that's what love does. Love fights. Love protects. Love never gives up. Never. Remember that. Hold on to that. Live by that. And you'll never regret it. I don't have regrets anymore. Used to. Used to lie awake thinking about all the ways I failed. All the things I should have done differently. All the time I lost. But not anymore. Because I can't change the past. Can only shape the future. And that's what I'm doing. Every single day. Shaping a future where Jasmine is happy. Where hope grows up safe. Where families stay connected. Where abuse is stopped. Where justice prevails. Where love wins. That's my future. That's our future. And it's beautiful. Worth fighting for. Worth every struggle we went through. Worth every tear we cried. Worth everything. So thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being part of this journey. I hope our story stays with you. Inspires you. Reminds you that no matter how dark things seem, there's always light. Always hope. Always a way forward. You just have to find it. And sometimes you have to fight for it. But it's there. Waiting. Ready for you when you are. My name is Gloria Martin. My daughter is Jasmine. My granddaughter will be Hope. And this is our story. Story of loss and love. Of darkness and light. Of breaking and healing. Of falling and rising. Of everything that tried to destroy us and how we survived it. Together. If you learned something from our story, leave a comment. Tell me what it meant to you. Share your own story if you're comfortable. 'Cause stories connect us. Heal us. Remind us we're not alone. And maybe your story will help someone else. The way our story helped you. That's how healing spreads. One story at a time. One person at a time. One act of courage at a time. Until the whole world is a little bit brighter. A little bit safer. A little bit more loving. That's my dream. Our dream. And we're making it real. Every single day. Through the foundation. Through our speaking. Through our living. We're making it real. And you can too. Whatever your story. Whatever your struggle. Whatever your pain. You can take it and transform it. Use it to help others. Use it to make the world better. Use it to prove that darkness doesn't get the last word. Love does. Light does. Hope does. Always. That's the truth. The real truth. The truth that kept me going through 15 years away from home. The truth that kept Jasmine alive through years of abuse. The truth that brought us back together. The truth that heals us still. Love wins. Always. No matter how long it takes. No matter how hard the fight. No matter how impossible it seems. Love wins. Remember that. When things get hard. When you want to give up. When you can't see the way forward. Remember. Love wins. And if you're fighting for someone you love, you've already won. Because the fight itself is love. The showing up is love. The refusing to quit is love. And that kind of love cannot be defeated. Cannot be broken. Cannot be stopped. It will find a way. It will make a way. It will win. That's what I learned. That's what I know. That's what I'm telling you. Love wins. Fight for it. Believe in it. Live it. And watch what happens. Watch how lives change. How people heal. How families come back together. How justice prevails. How hope returns. Watch it all happen. Because of love. Because of you. Because you refuse to give up. That's power. Real power. The only power that matters. So use it. Share it. Spread it. And change the world. One person at a time. Starting with yourself. Starting with your family. Starting today. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't let fear stop you. Just start. Make the call. Write the letter. Have the conversation. Set up the protections. Do whatever you need to do. But do it. Do it now. Because tomorrow might be too late. Tomorrow someone might need help. Tomorrow might be the day everything changes. So be ready. Be prepared. Be there. For yourself. For your loved ones. For anyone who needs you. Be the person who shows up. Who fights. Who loves with everything they have. Be that person. And watch your life transform. Watch the world around you change. Watch miracles happen. Because they will. They do. Every single day. When love is involved. When people care enough to act. When someone refuses to give up. Miracles happen. Just like they happen for us. Just like they can happen for you. So believe. Hope. Love. And never ever give up. Never. Because on the other side of this struggle, whatever you're facing, there's light. There's joy. There's peace. There's everything you've been dreaming of. You just have to get through this part. This hard part. This dark part. And then you'll see. You'll understand. You'll know that it was worth it. Every tear. Every struggle. Every moment you wanted to quit but didn't. It was all worth it. For the life waiting on the other side. That's what Jasmine and I found. A life better than we imagined. Fuller. Richer. More meaningful. Because we fought for it. Because we didn't give up. Because we believed. And that's what you'll find too. If you keep going. If you keep fighting. If you keep believing. You'll find your own version of happiness. Your own peace. Your own joy. It might not look like you expected. Might not come when you wanted. Might not be exactly what you planned. But it'll be yours. Real. True. Worth everything it took to get there. That's my promise to you. From someone who's been through hell and came out the other side. It's possible. Healing is real. Hope is real. Better days are real. You just have to hold on long enough to see them. And I'm here telling you. Hold on. Keep going. Don't stop. 'Cause I promise you. Promise. Gets better. The pain lessens. The scars fade. The nightmares end. And one day you'll wake up and realize. You're happy. Really truly happy. And you'll be so glad you didn't give up. So glad you kept fighting. So glad you held on. That day is coming for you. I know it is. Believe it. And I'm rooting for you. Me and Jasmine both. We're rooting for you. Cheering you on. Believing in you. Even though we don't know you. We know your struggle. We know your pain. We know your fight. And we're telling you, you can do this. You're stronger than you know. Braver than you believe. More loved than you realize. You are. And you're going to make it. You're going to survive. You're going to heal. You're going to live. Really live. The life you deserve. The life you were meant for. The life that's waiting for you. Just beyond this darkness. Just past this pain. Just through this struggle. There. Waiting. Your future. Bright and beautiful and full of possibility. Go get it. Claim it. Live it. And when you do, when you make it through, tell your story. Help someone else. Pass on the hope. 'Cause that's how we change the world. One story at a time. One person at a time. One act of love at a time. This is Gloria Martin. This is my daughter Jasmine. And this is our story. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being here. God bless you. And remember, love always wins. Always.